Hello, everybody. Welcome to the NDA Podcast. What are we? Season 8 now? Is it season 8? I don't even know what season we're in. But welcome back. This is episode 1 of the new season. I'm actually getting the episode numbers right. I am joined by the crew. Got Kev, we got Wex, and we got Craig, obviously recording the bot. And yeah, we got week 1 games to talk about, week 2 games to maybe look into possibly, and then yeah, I mean, we're back.
We are so back.
I'm excited.
Good again.
We are so back, as some people might say.
Oh, we're so back.
So back. Me and Wex briefly went over the teams last week. See how they perform this week. I'm excited for week 1 replays.
Me too.
We got a lot of good games that happened. You know, every single game from week 1 has been played. That matter, of course. Maybe there might be one. I can't recall. There might be one that still has to get played, but it's probably 2 teams that no one really cares about. So, hey, don't worry about it. We'll just skip over it. We won't talk about the one game that has been played because people can't communicate or line up their schedules or something. I don't know. But you know, neither here nor there. We'll forget about it.
Moral of the story: blame Ireland.
No, shut up. blame late night Jersey people who decide that.
Whoa!
Hey!
Whoa! We don't.
I'm going to live in Jersey.
This has nothing to. Has nothing to do with Jersey.
Listen, Wex, when you go to sleep and wake up, I have been awake the entire time. I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Oh, you just have a fucked up schedule.
Hey man, I gotta work overnights. It's not the most conducive to waking up early.
So you're saying you
Is that a word?
You live
conducive?
the same schedule as me is what you're saying.
Conducive is a word. Hold on.
Okay.
I've never heard anyone say that word in my entire life.
Yeah. Making a certain situation or outcome likely or possible. Conducive.
Conducive.
Others using his words very well.
Yeah, put that in your fucking word bank. Got him.
Put that in your word bank and smoke.
Does this pop it up? Yeah, it does. Okay, cool.
That says
conducive.
That's not how I would. What?
Literally, look how it's pronounced. And then press the speech button.
I did.
And it sounds like conducive.
You learn something new every day, ladies and gentlemen.
Just wish you'd take my word for it instead of questioning me, but...
I mean, I just had never heard it before.
You know what, fellas?
Yeah, how have you not heard of the word conducive? I mean, it's not used a lot, I understand, but... I mean, it's used.
I've never heard it before.
You know, fellas, it wouldn't be the podcast if we didn't get sidetracked within the first 2 minutes of the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing? I don't even know.
What are we doing?
All right. Basically, we're just gonna glance over these results and maybe discuss 1 or 2 in a little bit of depth. Are we just going top to bottom? Start with in the round.
Yeah, do you want to go in the round? Sounds good.
But that works. Our first bout of the NDA season at the top of our schedule is the Maine Mudkips and Coach Riolu versus the Boston Red Shocks and our returning champion, Sir William Fancy Son.
Yeah.
I believe Justin wanted to talk about this one.
Yeah, I mean... Guys, I hate to say it, but it was Glade the movie. Oh my lord!
I literally wrote down in my notes.
First game of the season.
I literally wrote down in my notes: Will versus Riolu, Terra Ghost Glade the movie.
No, but this thing got 7 kills. 7 kills in week 1. This thing absolutely carried. If we look back at the replays, you'll be able to see like. It was paired nicely with that Tornadus, landing those Bleak Wind Storms, by the way. Not missing a single one, I don't believe, the entire time. And he used it quite a few times.
That's the NDA
got the speed
champion.
drops. I mean, just absolutely going off. Unfortunately, Riolu didn't go Hurricane on Kilowattrel. He went Air Slash instead. So when he Air Slashed first turn into the Glade, he wasn't able to kill it, did 81%. And then from there, he was just able to sit there and then one-shot everything. Just Sacred Sword. Ursulina had no chance. I mean, just absolutely demolishing with that Glade. Terra Blast, going ham, especially in game 2, being able to kill off the Hatterene. And the moveset on Gallade, very, very nice. I mean, Terra Blast, Sacred Sword, Imprison, Trick Room to avoid Trick Room going up. So that really mitigated what Hatterene wanted to do to set up for Ursaluna in game 2. I think that was a great bring on Will's part. And then the Terra typing as well, just being absolutely fantastic. I really not much else to say based off of that. I mean, Riolu tried. I mean, he had the Big Bear Ursaluna, with Guts boosted, Flame Orb. But, I mean, even then, Will had Quillfish as somewhat of an answer to try to get some Intimidates off. So, that was game 1. I don't think he brought that game 2. I don't believe. I think he only showed 3 mons in game 2. But either way, the big MVP here, Gallade, going off. Really showing what Gallade can do. I mean, it doesn't have to be Iron Valiant to be good and sweep, right, Kev?
Hey, man. That's fair. That's a fair statement. That is a fair statement. Is that the was that your attempt at a transition?
It was actually.
I wasn't like
the next game on the dock is you versus Gummy, so I wanted to see if
I wasn't like 100% sure there, but so I'll try not to go into too much depth here, but let's just say that prep was long and extensive and difficult. Lex can attest to that. I was struggling very much, and I built a team for Ryder who built a prep team, and I didn't win one time. And I was like, all right, Lex, here's the prep team. I changed my team a little bit. Like, let's run it. And I put Slowpoke on the squad, and I was trying to like surf Tinglu and proc weakness policy and Trick Room and stuff. And nothing worked. I went back to the teacup, and I saw that it got stored power. And Lex said, throw the weakness policy onto. Shut up, Alexa. I said Wex, not you. God damn it. So we threw the weakness policy onto the Iron Hands, got up the Trick Room. Thankfully, Gummy, when he saw Teapot, was expecting Shell Smash. He thought it was going to be fake out Shell Smash. But lo and behold, weakness policy, Iron Hands went crazy. Teapot and Iron Hands didn't even leave the field game 1. And then game 2, Gummy was able to get rid of the Iron Hands, but then Iron Valiant just came in and de-gleamed Gummy's team to oblivion. And we picked up the 2-0 win.
Yeah.
And that will transition us to another 2-0 win.
I'm just saying real quick.
But not in the favor. What's up?
The idea of Iron Hands weakness policy. It was not smart. It was just a last-ditch attempt that we were just like, we have nothing. I was like, throw the weakness policy.
Hey. It turned out to be smart,
It was just me being like, how the fuck can I lose this game?
Will it come back in the future? Not sure, but it worked.
It worked for the thing.
But Justin, you're up, kid.
Well, that's not as good of a transition as I provided, but some people can't always make the alley-oops.
Mine was more clear.
Hey, you just went like, Justin, you're up. Like, yep. What is this? Am I next in the batting order?
Exactly, that was what I was going for. It was sweet, straight and to the point.
Yeah, we'll just glance over this one. I got cooked. 4-3. I mean, I got kills, cool, but I was never really in a position to win. My problem was I just wasn't predicting. I'm still trying to figure out my team, so I wasn't predicting anything like Terra types or moves or anything like that. I was like looking at what I was seeing. I was like, okay, this is probably good, and then going off of that. So I think it was more of a slightly build issue, and then also a decision issue on my end, and then your boy just played better than me. So that's really it.
I actually didn't get to catch this. What was he had like some crazy acrobatics mirror herb.
No, he prepped really well. He had a Tornadus, not Tornadus, Thunderous, and it had mirror herb, which would have been really nasty if I set up with Cloister in front of that thing, or bulked up in front of Thunderous with that, which was kind of the goal.
Yeah,
but he ended up getting a speed boost from a Spathra. So I mean, there's a lot of reasons why that was really good.
Yeah, that was really cool.
But yeah, acrobatics, mirror herb would have been absolutely disgusting if he was able to get that. I think game 1, but he didn't for a little bit. And then once he was able to one-shot Annihilate, even though I had decent amount of defense invested into the Mon. So, yeah, just kind of unfortunate. Too much damage. Quick attack on. I thought I had a chance, but he had quick attack on Flareon, so just kind of screwed off of that. I'm not going to sit there and just try to click protects and make the toxic damage do the kill. So, yeah, I mean, retrospectively, that's really my only chance. But obviously, I'm not going to get all that luck. I'm not Kevin, so.
I mean, not all.
I'm just saying.
You mean? I feel like it's the Will luck now. That dude don't miss bleak windstorms. That's all.
I mean, true.
Yeah.
True.
Speaking of luck, our next match was very, very interesting. So that's a transition, Justin.
Is this?
Now that you mention it, now it's not. We're not really transitioning, are we?
I just had to.
We're stuck in limbo.
Quick. No, we're not. The Philly Flygons versus the New Orleans Ninetales.
First match of the season, by the way.
First match of the season, and Coach Charisma brought out the toxic minimized muck, Alolan muck.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting. Yeah, I was gonna say
bannable offense, by the way.
I was gonna say there's only one word to describe it, and it's toxic. Why do we
let him in the league? What?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Well, that was Kevin's decision. So
I take no responsibility.
We all point the finger at him. We all get mad at him, and move on with our lives.
I mean, the luck I was talking about, however, came in game 2, where Kaylee forced a game 3 because they landed both moves, including a Hydro Pump after a minimize, which is like 50% accurate. Shout out Greninja. Greninja had his seeing eye glasses on. Actually crazy. And then the low roll. The game ended with Charisma's Rotom with a Scarfed without any PP. My PP doesn't work right. And Hydro Pump had to struggle and low rolled so Kaylee could force the game 3, where unfortunately it did not go their way, and Charisma picked up the 2-1 win. Next is the game I want to go into, I guess, depth upon. It is the Glasgow Gengars versus the Granite State Gravel Rocks Phoenix versus Quartz. Quartz was able to pick up the 2-0 win, but both sets were very close, including game 1. So us very smart people in the Naranja division let Phoenix draft Chien-Pao Dragonite. Not sure how that happened.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, ask Wex how difficult it is to get that pairing.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm just saying, I have something to bring up that I have a problem with later on. Just remember this. Go on, Ken.
Okay. But I feel like this is definitely Phoenix's toughest matchup on paper. Only because what stops the Chien-Pao Dragonite E-Speed spam? Psychic Terrain. And I mean, yes, you get Ice Spinner and other things, but usually these Dragonites are choice banded, so he had to go back to the workshop and figure out a new strategy to break this down. And for the most part, it worked. Picked up a quick and DD kill. No trick room was able to be set up, and Quartz was kind of just having to reposition. And thankfully for Quartz, he got his Glastrier in front of the Dragonite, and the Chien-Pao was down, and forced the Dragonite to Terra Steel. When the Dragonite Terra Steeled, I don't think Phoenix was envisioning the end game of Skeledirge clicking Torch Song into Breloom low kicks and Terra Steel Dragonite, and just absolutely sweeping through his team. Quartz had no Trick Room, no resources, just a Skeledirge and a Dream, essentially. And I guess Glastrier forced the Terra, so shout out Glastrier, but at the end of the day, Skeledirge really went crazy and picked up back-to-back KOs from the depths to secure Quartz the win. And then the next match, he kind of tried to lead the Skeledirge, and put on offensive pressure early into probably the Chempao. And didn't really happen that way. Phoenix kind of switched up his lead as well. Went with a Terra Fairy Articuno and tried to just double into the Skeledurge that ate a double up, and Rotom was able to fire off a now neutral Thunderbolt into Articuno, and it just still did over half. I think basically just to sum up this one, Phoenix kind of underestimated Rotom Fan. Maybe we all did. Tier C tier for Rotom Fan, and Life Orb, Thunderbolt, and Air Slash put in work, and it was a pretty good bring here. I do rate Quartz's. It just did a lot of work in things like Breloom, Articuno, Dragonite, low kicks. It was just a very solid bring. Like bring it in front of a very scary Chempao. So fair play to Quartz, and Rotom Fan was able to pick up many kills here, and was able to take the 2-0 win.
I think about 3. I think probably got the same as what Skeledurge did, roughly. Yeah, I think it did. Looking at it here, yeah, got 3. So Rotom Fan being a C tier up that high already. Yeah. Oh god, it's gonna be a long season.
Put in the work. And our final match, I don't remember exactly what happened, but all I remember about this match, I don't know if you remember, Justin, if you inputted the kills or not, but basically, Jay threw so hard.
Hey man, it happens.
It happens to the best of us. It do happen to the best of us. But I think very smart. Swamp ran Electro Ball Aleki, and it was like max base power against a lot of Jay's team. But this end game in game 3, all Jay had to do was protect Torkoal and set Trick Room with Cresselia, and not let his Torkoal get helping hand Electro Ball. And he didn't click protect, and Cresselia couldn't finish off the end game. But I mean, it was a close set.
Maybe he thought that they were going to double attack Cress, and he could get a free attack off in the sun. I mean,
yeah, but like, even then, Super Fang plus Electro Ball into Cresselia, it would have killed, but it might not have killed. I don't think. I don't know.
I think you have to crust. I think you have to trust Cresselia's bulk there. And
yeah, I have to agree with that.
Like that's what you drafted it for. Like that, you not many things delete Cresselia.
No. And here's the thing: if Super Fang's going second, you live anyway, right? So as long as you don't get one shot by the Electro Ball, you live. So it's really just kind of a head scratcher as to why I didn't click protect, even after like admitting like, oh, I did have protect. I don't know why I didn't pick it. Because if you do, you just click eruption and then bada bing, bada boom, you win. You know, that's 2 points instead of 1.
In the moment,
probably kicking yourself for that one. I mean, I'm a dumbass myself. I'd be missing plays left and right.
I'm the worst for it in the moment. Like I've picked on.
I can't judge.
In the moment, I'm the worst for it as well, so I can't really talk. But it's just unfortunate. He played well all set as well, which is annoying. I'd be annoyed if I was him, to be honest. But I mean, who wouldn't? That scenario.
I thought it was interesting that Swamp didn't bring a lot of his like higher tiers. Kind of just set the sun and let Charizard click.
He let him cook.
Interesting. Quite literally.
Yeah.
All right, Wex. What happened in the UVA division this week?
To be honest, I don't know because I didn't play. No, I'm kidding. True. A bit of schedule issues for me and Zach, but hopefully this weekend we'll get around to it. I'm looking at my prep sheet here. I don't have a picture of it, but it's blank because I don't know what it's named. I haven't teamed anything, but I'll probably end up changing it. Anyway, UVA. So start from the top, work my way down. I might skip over the game that I plan to talk about. We'll come to that when we come to it. First off, we have the Paldean Bulls against the Chicago White Swaddlers. Sir Pinky with his first game in the league against Mao. And my main question is, how does Mao find himself in the stall games every time? And half the time it's not even him. The Arboliva Spiritomb Giga Drain, Seed Sower, Ally Switch.
Painful to watch, by the way. I just want to say, I hate watching stall games, even though I'll do it if I have to. But like, oh man.
Says Mr. Moody Glalie.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey, listen, that's a strategy.
That's a strategy.
I'm not saying I'm saying I'm against watching it. I'm not against using it. Two different things. I play to win, not play for the entertainment factor.
You know what else was disgusting about this game? I thought we were done with Ally Switch.
You know what?
I really
thought we were done this season, but it appears not.
Fire a giraffe. Yep.
I really thought we were done with it, but the amount of Ally Switch spam was actually crazy. I think Mal even clicked it consecutively, even though you can't anymore.
Which is stupid, by the way.
No, it is the greatest thing they've ever done.
It's
My
such
thing was
a
that
nerf.
when one person clicked it, I was like, oh, okay, finally someone does it. But then both Frigoraph and Spiritomb have it, I'm like, okay, what are we doing, fellas? What are we doing? Like, who are we trying to trick? But there's one stage in the game where there was snow on the field, there was grassy terrain. Turn before there was sun, there was Trick Room, there was Aurora Vit. Everything was happening. Like, what was this game? But you know what? Yeah, Pinky came out on top at the end, basically because of stall. But you know what? There were no winners in this. No one won. To be honest, it was a sore set, I thought.
You know who? And everyone lost.
Mel I think Mel missed an icicle crash on Arbeliva like the third last turn or so. I think if he hits that, he probably ends up winning.
Oof. I think he had like a double miss the game before or something.
He got unlucky with it, but I suppose that's what you get for using inaccurate moves. And you know what?
And Ally Switch.
You know, we have like a ruling over this league. Can we just give both of them like 1 point or something? Because no, there were no winners. Honestly.
I think Sir Pinky would have an issue with that.
Anyway, next up we have Ryder and the San Diego Righteous facing another new coach, which is a bit of a theme going on this week. A lot of new coaches facing old coaches. I suppose when it's half and half, you're going to get that. Facing the Jackson. Yeah, true.
More than half.
The Jacksonville Mole Trace. And Jam. And Will is going to be very, very happy to see Articuno lost. It's a great day for Will.
He messaged me immediately after. And jokes on him.
Day 2
jokes on him, it's in day 2 of Worlds.
When I saw that message this morning, I was cracking up. It's like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like sitting there dying at my screen. I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah. I knew as soon as I prepped against that dude that got day 2 with it, and I was like, dude, this team's fucking annoying. Like, your opponents are gonna hate you. Dude, it works. All I'm gonna say is Articuno.
But anyway, Articuno. I don't think he even brought it, to be fair. But all that you really need to know about this set is Chiyu. About it. Pretty much all I have. Chiyu click buttons.
Yeah. I prepped Ryder, and we ran the Scarf Chiyu set, and
he's dying.
It worked well. Worked wonders.
Yeah, nice to see the chestnut on the field at some stage as well. But overall, it was pretty much just Chiyu coming onto the field and taking buttons. I think that there was a leech seed miss on Articuno eventually somewhere in this game. I can't remember where it was. But also we saw Encore from Iron Bundle, which I'm all for a non-offensive Iron Bundle set. Bit of a fan of that myself. And a bit of Pachirisu. You know, I'd love to see it with Follow Me. That's all Pachirisu really does. But yeah, look, it was pretty
nice.
As far as clean wins for Ryder. Bit of a baptism into fire for Jam, having to have his first game in the league against Ryder, time champion.
Oh, dude, that's kind of intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like no one's as intimidating as Ryder on a roll. Oh man, and to start him off early, he's gonna cause so many problems. Oh, dude, I'm glad I do not have to face this guy. I'm so happy. This has been my kryptonite, especially in playoffs.
Speaking of things that are scary,
times,
we can move on to the Celadon Stuffle and the Azalea Anthroses. And yeah, Dozogiri happened. We look, fellas. We learned after course last year that Dozogiri is a problem, and we probably shouldn't. Like, we should gang up on people that have it. But no, we just leave people get it every season. But please, for the love of God, bring Haze against this thing. That's all I ask for. Like, look, Valiant had a good showing in this for Casual Boy. Pretty good showing as Kev, I'd say, would be happy to see on the other side with his Valiant sitting there. But good Pokemon. But I mean,
it's a good Pokemon.
Dozogiri just sitting there. There was a funny scenario actually where I know it was Zoroark had illusion and stuff like that, but it just looked like Dozogiri was just sitting side by side for a little bit. They were just chilling. They didn't want to hop in each other's mouth yet. They were just chilling there. When in fact it was Zoroark, but I thought it was a pretty funny scenario because there was a second where I was like, "What?" I was a bit confused. I was like, "What's going on here?" And then I realized I was like, makes sense. But I thought it was pretty funny. But overall, like, I mean, with Dozo there, there's nothing, even with Urshifu in the back, there's nothing really that Jam could do. Or not Urshifu. Jam. What am I saying? I'm looking at the wrong team. Yeah, it was Urshifu.
Yep.
And there's nothing that Alex can do even there. So I'm leaving Urshifu in the back. Yeah, that's pretty much all happened. Dozogiri happened. Castle Boy gets a win. Do you not want to face this week?
I like the Terra Fairy Dozo this week. I thought that was really cool because Wicked Blow on any other Dozo deletes them for the most part.
I agree.
It was a really good Terra.
But yeah, Castle Boy gets the win. Nice, not pretty easy win, but it's a win. As you can tell, I have skipped over Griff and Germ. I'll get that in 2 seconds. Yeah, me and Straw Hat, we haven't had our chance to play yet. Hopefully, that'll be the next coming days. Fingers crossed. If not, we'll see. But then last on the list, we have Visionary City Jump Puffs, Koopa Wizard, and Los Angeles Gravelers, and Lalo Wolf / Fernbug. I don't know what to call them. Fernbug. I'm just gonna say Fernbug for now.
The Fernbug.
Yeah. So the Gravelers, they have obviously the Perish Trap team. I hate Perish Trap. I hate as a concept it's nice, but I just hate playing against it. Game 1, like it was pretty rough. Game 1. Like once I saw game 1, I genuinely thought, I was like, oh, here we go now. Like I genuinely thought that game 2 was going to be over straight away. But look, Koopa Wizard came out pretty well. He used a lot of good targeting moves, such as Heatran into Screamtail. He stopped the Cyclizar from setting up a Shed Tail. He had Volt Switch. Overall, Koopa played really well. Played right around the trapping and right around Screamtail having to set up Perish Trap or Perish Song even. There's a lot of targeting on the Gengar as well, which in game 1 caused havoc. But another thing I really loved was the Terra Bug from Koopa Wizard on the Heatran, which I found pretty funny. It's really good with flat.
It's arguably a pretty
that has
good
a lot of psychic types.
Terra type.
It's a pretty damn good pretty damn good Terra, if you ask me. Great prep on that part from Koopa Wizard. Not much you can do really into the Terra. Terra Blast got I think 1 or 2 kills for Heatran, which I found pretty funny. Terra Bug, you know what? Maybe my Terra Bug mute that I got from the event, maybe it's not too bad.
Oh no, it works on Heatran because it resists ground still, and then it can hit psychic types, hit bug, grass types. It's niche. It's very niche, but I feel like in competitive, grass is just always better because you resist a move.
And also, just something else to note,
bug is fun to
both Rotom Washes ended up using Struggle this week, which I found pretty funny. Yeah, I was using this game and it actually Will got a kill with Struggle, I'm pretty sure, in his game, but Koopa also had to use Struggle because of a disable from I think it was Screamtail. I don't think it was Goth, I think it was Screamtail he got, which also was it was the only mon to use Struggle to both all 12 games this week, or 11. All 11 games this week. only Monty who struggled was Rotom, it was used twice. Like, if I had a nickel for every time that Rotom used struggle to speak, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. But yeah, overall, it came up to a 2v3, and even though Screamtail set up the perish, there's nothing really you can do in the 2v3 perish trap scenario. It's just a pretty straightforward win for Koopa to end out the round, and yeah, that's all for them games. I'm going to go into the game that I want to look at, and that is the Rhyme City Rhydons against the what is he this year? Absols this year. The Absols this year. No,
he's back.
Got fed up with the.
What is he this year?
He's back to the Absols.
But yeah, first of all, Griff, if I cover any of your games throughout the season, I have a vendetta against you now, just because you drafted Dragonite. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal, except it's very personal. Yeah,
that's fair.
That's all I'm gonna say. So, looking at my favorite coach here, I'm Germ. He looks pretty good in turn 1. When it looks like a pretty weird matchup. You know, we have Greninja sitting there with Cinderace. Obviously, what's gonna happen? It could be a Water Pulse, could be a Dark Pulse, there could be a close combat, there could be whatever for Cinderace, and the Trailblaze comes out and just insta kills Greninja's turn 1. Obviously, putting all the momentum on Germ's side. I honestly was not expecting to see Trailblaze from Cinderace, to be honest. I didn't even know what got it. Yeah, the opening kill was insane.
I didn't expect the kill.
We had a few more shenanigans, but I mean, coming into game 1, like a kill up when Greninja, one of the other teams, like more premier attackers, I want to say, that he had at the time. Well, other than D9 Flutter, but they end up going down pretty easily. Like, there was an Espathra baton pass onto Flutter, but I mean, at the time, Cinderace was just clicking Iron Head, so I mean, there's not much you can do in that scenario. Flutter just kind of fell over. And then the one thing in this set that I looked at, and I was like, this is what I wanted to come back to earlier. So Griff drafted Dragonite, right? And everyone knows that Dragonite's whole thing is to E-speed and just hit things as hard as it can with like Terra or normal or whatever. Griff decided no, I am gonna change the meta. He decided to use Terra Dragon E-speed. He messed up, but that's an insult to me. That's a shot at me. He didn't need
his
this thing.
He
didn't need E-speed to just. I'm sure Dragon Ball is going to end up higher than on the kill leaderboard.
Someone is salty still, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my entire goal. I don't care if I lose every game. If I can get 6 kills a game with Dragon Ball, I don't care how much I lose. I just want to beat Dragonite. At the end, that's all I want. That's all I need. I want to set a statement. I don't need Dragonite. Oh, I wish I had it. Anyway, game 2. It was so tough. Game 2, we saw the Ditto lead. I love Ditto.
It's crazy.
Ditto lead straight out into Torn, which is probably the best case scenario for Griff. I mean, when you send out a Ditto and end up grabbing,
it's definitely what he was going for
in the entire draft. It's pretty good. I take that as a win. But yeah, so they sent matching Tailwind. There was a Terra Steel on the Baxcalibur. I think got a Spadef drop or a speed drop eventually. Bit unlucky with the, I think it was Bleakwind Storm. I think it was a speed drop actually. Bleakwind Storm is speed, right? So yeah, got a speed drop, which is a bit unfortunate. The Terra Blast killed Flutter, so that was pretty good. Also a weird, not a weird thing, but one thing's happened in this game that wasn't very efficient for, say, Germ, was Griff's Jolteon used Volt Switch onto Mabosstiff, who was carrying the red card, and even though he was going to switch out anyway, Dragonite was dragged out. Baxcalibur used Earthquake against Torn and Dragonite, and he ended up taking his Mabosstiff from about 50 to 60 HP all the way down to 20%, so a less than ideal turn for Germ. And to be honest, Germ's had a bit of unlucky runs in the past, like heal pulsing against me. That was something that he just heal pulsed my side of the field. But this is a brand new one for German. Only German could do this and get away with it. But yeah, it didn't do anything, and then eventually the Ice Shard didn't kill on Dragon Knight, which was unfortunate. Griff picked up the win in the end. And yeah, we went to a game 3 and it was pretty nice. And I was like, okay, look, this set cannot get any crazier. But then we saw the Ditto into Skull Villain and Moody Boost happen for a bit, which, Justin, I'm sure you know better than anyone else what Moody does. And yeah, there was a few unfortunate rolls.
I do.
I definitely knows the good rolls of Moody.
Hey man, listen.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, I will say last season I did get a fair bit of luck when it came to the Moody rolls, so I am appreciative
there was a lot more
of those rolls, and looking
at
at other people struggle just makes me smile.
You used
just
a
little
lot.
bit more.
You got
That's toxic.
You got different rolls. You were protecting to get more boosts and stuff like that. Whereas there wasn't really much protecting going on in this. It was more so just flamethrower, which I mean didn't really work.
Yeah. I was in it for the long haul. I was going protect, substitute with leftovers and hoping for the best. Terra typing to a defensive Terra to avoid damage. Like I was trying to expel. Like I was trying to get the most out of the Moody berry that it is. Try to squeeze that juice out.
Big special attack boost that happened. There's a double
point
defense drop. There's a death drop. There's a lot going on. But then someone's kind of stole the show. It was I kind of like Greninja just coming out and just clicking gunk shot at everything and just deciding everything's gonna die for a little bit before probably the best decision Griff has ever made and put Mud Slap onto Baxcalibur a couple times because that thing just went off. Even though it did like 4% to him at the start, it's the best move he made all set because I think he missed an Ice Shard from Mud Slap and then he missed like 2 Earthquakes onto Jolteon. Like, when you're facing off against a Poison type Greninja and an Electric type Jolteon and you have Earthquake, how do you lose? Mud Slap is how you lose, pretty much. Like, Mud Slap brought it in. Mud Slap brought it. It's very...
Mud Slap is funny though. It's funny. It is.
If you're looking at the game, Griff said GG.
It's like the only way Germ could have lost that game. If
I think it was turn 2.
Had Mud Slap.
And he was like, oh well, I lost. Anyway, moving on. But then he decided to Mud Slap a couple times, drop Earthquake to 60% accuracy, and I mean, Griff's attacks weren't doing a whole lot to the Baxcalibur. So like even then, like watching it, seeing like, oh, he missed. I wonder what's gonna happen. He's definitely gonna kill next turn. He just kept missing. Like Jolteon missed. Now Greninja died. Fair enough. But now at this stage, you had like it was Terra Electric Jolteon, of course. But you had 3 or 4 turns to play with here. 0.5 accuracy. Like what does Earthquake do? It misses again for the second time in a row on Jolteon. Shadow Ball comes out. Okay, surely at least Baxcalibur can get one. No, miss for a 3rd time in a row. And he dies, and that was it. 3 Earthquake misses in a row, preceding that there was an Ice Shard miss. 4 misses in a row for Baxcalibur. You know what? I think that thing needs some glasses. And yeah, it ended with 4 misses in a row from Baxcalibur, and I think that's the only way he could have lost.
Just
Which is unfortunate, but I mean, game's a game. Yeah. That's pretty much it for Uva. I kind of rambled on there for a bit, but
Here's a game.
Yeah, pretty much all. Baxcalibur did get a load of kills. Got I think about 6. Trapping up some kill leaderboard stuff. For Uva, Baxcalibur got 6. We had Heatran's Screamtail of 5. All of Screamtail were with Perish songs, so could be a bit of a trend for the season. Jolteon got 4. Chiyu from Ryder and Spectre both got 3, and the Dozo got 3 as well. But you know what? We don't have to talk about Dozo. Like realistically, and Arbelieve also. Dozo, the Dozo's going to get a lot of airtime, I think, during the season. So, you know what?
It doesn't need any more time.
It can sit at what's it called? It can sit in the bottom of our kill leaderboard for now because it deserves it. Yep, while I was looking at it, I saw it, and I
before
didn't
we
want to mention it
sign
because
off.
it's like the dope.
Erling Haaland scored
We're going to
already.
hear about that a lot this year.
Wow,
Like,
I didn't take long.
like Erling Haaland scored. So Erling Haaland scoring is like those are getting a kid.
Yeah.
Like we know it's gonna happen. Like grow up.
Second thing, back
Like-
up. Say that. What were you saying? Yeah. It's just unfortunate.
Is the sky
Um,
blue? Yeah.
yeah.
Erling Haaland scoring.
Pretty much.
Ooh, yeah. We could.
Last thing before we go, do we want to touch on potential games to watch next week?
Well, if we're being completely honest, three of the games have already happened.
That's
by
actual.
the time of recording. A fourth, me versus Gummy, is going to happen once this recording concludes. So that's going to be 4. So out of the remaining games, what I have my eye on, for the most part,
One day.
I think is going to be...
The
I wanna
Linster
see-
Leafeons versus Straw Hat. That's what I'm waiting for.
that's really what I want to see. No, I was going to say Jaster versus Riolu. That's the one that I'm keeping my eye on. I want to see how Riolu bounces back just after the game against Will. And then I want to see if Jaster is still tilted, if he's still kicking himself for the other loss that he took when he didn't have to. So two players 0-1 trying to redirect their course and make sure they set themselves straight. So we'll see, but someone's going to drop to 0-2, and someone's not going to be happy. So we'll see how that goes. Kind of the same thing for me and Gummy, but I'm not going to say it. I want to watch my game. I'm going to be playing it in the next.
We
5
were going to
minutes,
have Kevin.
We'll see.
Will
We'll see how that one
game
goes
of the
out.
week. What's already happened, but we won't spoil it for you.
Trying to think what else.
But yeah, that's technically our game of the week. For Naranga, and then for our Uva, our game of the week is the Dozo Giri
Nothing
matchup
happened anyway.
with Zeldon Stuffle taking on Chicago White Swadloons with the Frigoraph Glacier stuff. So even though the Stuffle came out with a good matchup first week, and Mao was an icicle crash away from winning, it's gonna be interesting who wins. Like we don't really have much like 1-1 team, like 1-0 teams facing each other this week, so that was pretty much the closest we come up with on this side. And yeah, maybe I'll play a game.
Yeah. What I want to see, I'm sorry. Hopefully. I mean, Jacksonville is East Coast, so that's probably the most conducive. See, used it again. Conducive to your time zone. So, we'll see. I do want to see if Mao wants to possibly try a mirror herb strategy against that Dundozo. I think that could work. That could work fairly well with the boosts.
The mirror herb skill swap giraffe.
I mean, listen, it could work, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that one plays out. And yeah, I think that just about wraps it up, fellas. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I'm going to go
that's
and
it.
watch this Premier League match that's happening now.
Look forward to Wex's
write
write-up
for the week.
We'll write
So
up.
you guys will see that.
Weekly summary.
That's kind of when this bit of a fourth wall break. That's when we're recording for everyone to know. But yeah, I think that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching. And Justin, you can sign off.
Yeah. All right. Yep. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the NDA Podcast, episode 1. Make sure you tune back in next week when we release the next episode when we cover game week 2 and the games that happen there, as well as touch on some of the games that we want to look forward to for week 3.
Without further ado, let's get into it.
And yeah, without that's it. That's the show. That's what I was. I was like, I was transitioning into that. I was like, am I really this fucking stupid? The answer is yes. Just in case you want a little spoiler on that one. So, yeah, I will see you guys next week if you listen to my voice. And so with Kevin Wex. So, without further ado,
Goodbye.
all right, take care. See you next week.